Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Sandy Park for round 15. Sale Sharks take on Exeter Chiefs down here at Sandy Park on a very wet and windy day. I'm Maisie Allen, I'm joined by Cleena Maloney. And to start us off, we'll go through the team sheets. So, the front row for Sale Sharks, we have number 1, Katie Benson, number 2, Molly Wright, number 3, Datisha Harper. Then going into the second row, Iona Arntwis and Erica Jarrell. Moving into the back row at 6, we have Jo Brown, 7, Neve Swales, and number 8, Morwenna Talling, who is their captain today. Moving to the halfbacks, we have Olivia Ortiz at 9, Lizzie Duffy at 10. In the centres, Beatrice Rigoni and Vicky Irwin, and then the back three are made up of Holly Thorpe, Eva Wood, and Nikita Prothero. The starting 15 for Exeter Chiefs in the front row, Demi Swan, Clara Nielsen, and Charlie Jacobi. In the second row, Dorothy Wall and Neve Orchard. In the back row, Ebony Jeffries at 6, Adele McMahon at 7, and Rachel Johnson at 8. The halfbacks, Lucy Nye at 9 and Taylor Perry. The centres today are Gabby Cantona and Meryn Doige at 13, and then the back three are made up of Georgina Tasker, Claudia McDonald, and Alex Tessier. On the bench, we see number 16, Scarlett Fielding for Sale Sharks, Sophie Lewis, and Nick James. Then the remaining forward replacements are Sarah Clean and Molly Morrissey. Then for the backs, they have Sophia Stefan, Katana Howard, and Rachel Phillips. For Chiefs, we'll like to see Emily Totosi, Flo Long, and Talika Menning coming on into the front row. Emily Robinson playing back, returning from injury today, and Nancy McGilvery in the centres. And then we have Flo Robinson and Ailey Sinclair as well. Clee, it's a very wet and windy Sandy Park today. How are you feeling about the game?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, I think we've got a slightly changed team sheet. Obviously, we've got a run of very competitive games coming, and we need to rotate our squad. So it's important that everyone keeps fresh and keeps game ready. I think the girls are going to have a difficult challenge today, though, just mainly because of the conditions. It's quite unusual that we have this weather down here in Devon, but I guess it's more like we're playing up in Sale Sharks today, because we often have a muddy, wet day for when we go up there.
Yeah, it's like a mirror of when they played up there before Christmas, isn't it? We can see Adele, number 7, Tricky, as we like to call her, back in the starting lineup. It's going to be a forward-dominated game today. What do you think Tricky's going to bring?
Oh, yeah, 100%. She'll like this weather. You know, she's a lot like the Sale girls, I guess, when Tricky's played back in Ireland, and same with myself. You often get days like this, wet and windy, and it's all tight carries and big defences, and it's a day that Tricky will enjoy, really, to be honest with you. She'll take any opportunity she gets.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'd be really nice to see her playing alongside Dorothy Wall as well. Fellow Irish players, teammates together, so it'd be good to see them connecting up. Talking of, how are you doing? How's your injury? Picked one up last weekend away at Loughborough. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I'm good. Recovering well and rehabbing, being looked after by the team here. Just a calf strain, so nothing to worry about too much, but hopefully a couple of weeks and I'll be back. The aim is obviously for everyone at the end of the season, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, it's a difficult year because the season is so condensed. When you do pick up injuries, you maybe get a bit worried, but it'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. It is interesting with the season being how it is, because we've seen it across our club, and I think quite a few other clubs have seen it, that I suppose the muscular and soft tissue injuries are getting a little bit more common. Do you think that is because of the condensed season, or is that just rugby?
I think so, yeah. I mean, when you play game after game after game, and then you've got lots of other constraints around EQP and stuff like that, I guess it becomes a little bit more difficult to rotate and rest players, and that presents challenges around, you know, soft tissue injuries and load management. But it's a fine balancing act for the coaches and the physio teams, and I don't envy their decisions they have to make week in, week out, because you want to keep everyone happy, but you want to keep everyone fresh, and then you're also trying to satisfy the league's requirements. So it is very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. So we now have Sale Sharks running out onto the pitch. They'll be playing from left to right as we can see it. Looks like they're going to be kicking off as well. And now we have Alex Tessier running out for Exeter Chiefs. Our referee today is Dan Jones, alongside assistant referees Jennifer Burrows and James Milner Woodcock. Lizzie Duffy, Sale Sharks number 10, is going to start us off this afternoon, kicking long left just before Chiefs 22-metre line. Claudia McDonald on the ball, making great gain line carry there. Still going all the way up to the halfway line. Brilliant carry. Lucy Nye shifting the ball on to Charlie Jacoby.
It's a good carry there for Claudia McDonald. I think she must be inspired by the new scrum cap.
Yeah, is that a new thing, or just for today to keep the wind out of her wind hair out of her face?
I think it's she's got a bang on her head, so she's worried about that getting a bit worse, or potentially splitting it open, I think. But yeah, I think she was influenced by Dorothy Wall.
Sensible idea, I think. Sale Sharks have the ball after Chiefs kick possession away. Strong forward carry there. It looks like they're setting to kick. Ortiz passes the ball back to Lizzie Duffy, and she sends it quite high up towards Chiefs halfway line. Alex Tessier fielding the kick and carrying back up to the Sale Sharks 10. It's a good pick off down the short side. Claudia McDonald back on the ball and just going into touch there.
Kicking battle is going to be quite pivotal today, Maisie. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it is. I think the wind is going from right to left across our screen, so it's favouring Chiefs at the moment. So I think we're going to be seeing Chiefs kicking a lot, sort of in the first half, and then potentially more of Sale in the second half. Because as we saw with Duffy's kick just there, it's going to be hard for them to make territory. And at the end of the day, it's going to be about territory and a big bashing up game through the forwards, because it's not pretty weather for the Blacks to play.
No, the weather is due to settle down a little bit though, so hopefully maybe there's not as much of a wind for Chiefs to play into in the second half.
For sure. Neve Swells threw the ball into the line out there, and it was collected but then dropped off the top. So we're going to go for our first scrum of the day. As mentioned earlier, we've got Katie Benson, Molly Wright and Tatisha Harper going up against Demi Swan, Clara Nielsen, and Charlie Jacoby. What do you think we'll see at the scrum battle today?
I think it's going to be quite difficult. You know, Sale are quite a powerful team, and in terms of size of pack, I think they probably have the upper hand there. It might come down to the quality of the studs, to be honest, because the pitch is not looking too good.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see Charlie get a start at tight head. She's a tight head that loves scrummaging, so I think she'll enjoy today. Absolutely.
That is a great first scrum by Chiefs. Walking Sale backwards, Rachel Johnson keeping the ball in and then picking it up and taking down the short side. Dorothy Wall carrying into contact, well met there by the Sale Sharks defence. And then Neve Orchard carrying in again. Cantorna tips the ball on to Jeffries. Quick ball as well going into the 22 for Chiefs. Strong defence held up by Sale Sharks. Nice ball out the back there by Taylor Perry. Claudia McDonald popping up out of nowhere and making a little bit more ground. Chiefs punching again at the line. Jeffries carrying the ball in, supported by Cantorna. Chiefs 1 metre away from the try line now, going to the pick and go game. They are over the line, and what is the decision? Sale have held it up. I think that's just given us a good insight into how this game's going to be played today.
Yeah.
How do we think sort of Chiefs differ from the middle of the park play to going into that 22? What do we often see from them?
You often see a lot of forward carries. I think they were well marshalled in that instance by Lucy Nye, but just unfortunately I think body height got the better of us as we went underneath the posts, and Sale were, it's an easy out really to be able to hold a team up like that, particularly given the conditions today.
Yeah,
I'd like to see a bit better technical detail from us in that area. Yeah,
that's something we've covered a lot recently. It's difficult getting into that area and not coming away with points, and it's caused a bit of upset for us this season, so it's really important we execute that well today.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just about a little bit of patience. You know, you can take 1 or 2 more phases. It might not be the prettiest thing, but at least if we come away with the 5 points and hopefully 7, it's more important than being held up.
Absolutely. Chiefs a little bit disconnected there. Number 5 for Sale, Erica Jarrell coming away with the ball, getting over the breakdown. She's played really well this season, big influential player for Sale, so it'll be good to see her go today. Lizzie Duffy exiting the 22 metre line, penalty kick to touch. As we mentioned, the wind is going to be a struggle, and she's got it sort of 5 metres outside of. Second line out here for Sale Sharks today. We'll see what they opt to do.
Often you see in these instances the referee just becomes a little bit less strict on the not straight rule, because it just takes a lot out of the game if you have to go line out for the opposition when the ball is not straight. So hopefully we see a bit of continuity in this area.
Yeah, for sure. Ball in there for Sale Sharks, and they've taken to the drive, getting some good go forward. Eric Jarrell pulling them forward at the front of that maul as well. And Ortiz has moved it away to Rigoni. Strong carry up the middle, well met by Adele McMahon. Liv Ortiz there, just fumbling the ball forward. It must be very difficult to play 9 today. It's nice to see Liv back playing at Sandy Park though. She was part of the Chiefs and moved up to Sale last year, and it's great to see her getting some good game time and runs out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the league is so competitive. It's difficult when players like Liv weren't getting game time. We've quite a lot of players down here, so it's brilliant to see her just playing week in, week out, and that's really what every rugby player needs.
Absolutely, and it's great for our internationals as well, where their leagues abroad probably aren't quite up to the standard of the Premiership, as this sort of is the top standards you can get to, and they're getting some good game time in the run up to the World Cup.
Yeah. Solid scrum there by Chiefs.
Yeah, very good. Nice, fed the ball in. See if he'll break pressure. Rachel Johnson breaking off the side. Strong carry through the centres there. Cleared by Cantona and Adele McMahon. Looked like a slight knock-on in the contact there from Sale, but we're playing on.
We probably need to be just a little bit more direct here in the 22. Gain a bit of momentum before we start giving those tips around the backs, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. So, carrying up towards the 10-metre line. Looks like they're organising to set up for a kick. Ortiz to Duffy. Sends it, but it's charged down by Deutsch, and it's a knock-on there from Sale Sharks. Sarah under quite some pressure at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how in this first half they sort of navigate their way out of there.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate for Marin, I think. Normally you see those charge downs are let go because you're obviously making an attempt to block the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening, as it is Chiefs ball in the scrum, so maybe there was a bit of ricocheting off after the play. Solid platform again for Chiefs to play off of. Johnson picks right down the short side again to find McDonald. Wall carries into contact. And another little scoot and snipe down the short side from Lucy Nye. I think there was a bit of miscommunication there. Who was receiving the ball and it's just dribbled out into touch. We've seen them use the short side a few times now, Chiefs, today. Do you think that's something they're using because of the conditions, Clee?
I reckon, yeah. You just want to be able to shorten the defence up, gain a bit of momentum, and then look to play it out wide rather than forcing it early to go open. I think, though, to be fair, it is difficult. We've got a solid set piece, so we know we can always rely on that. But I think building a little bit more momentum in this area of the pitch is key. Just a little bit more composure needed, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, throws the ball in. Sale opting for the maul again. Well defended by Chiefs, and it brings down. Quick play around the corner. Benson giving the inside lift. So out back, Duffy to Rigoni, who's being driven back well by Taylor Perry.
It's unusual to see Sale not looking to exit from here.
And then the error there from Sale, knocking the ball forward. It is unusual, as you say, to see them not exiting. Usually teams like to clear their lines. It's only the likes of Bristol and Loughborough who we often see trying to play out and gain momentum from the 22. Lizzie Duffy might be panicking a little bit. She had one kick that didn't go too far and then one kick charged down, so maybe they're opting to find a different way out.
Yeah, I think the wind is probably a lot stronger than we realised just sitting up here in the commentary box.
Absolutely.
Neve Orchard's calling the line out today. She's a player you've played with for quite a while, Maisie. How do you think she's developed into that role?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for Neve. This is her first sort of, she's had a few starts this season, but big start of the season, and she's getting to go on the line-outs. That's a very big part that our captain Poppy Leach ordinarily takes over, but it's about developing people, and I think Neve's played really well and needs the opportunity to get that growth in her game as well. So we'll see that today. Chiefs there, knocking the ball on from the scrum, back into Sale's hands. Kicking duties given to Rigoni, and she clears, and that is a curving ball in the wind, almost going back towards her. I do not envy her job today. First line out here for Exeter Chiefs. Nielsen throwing the ball in. I think we'll get a pretty good idea of Chiefs' game plan off the back of this one. What do you think, Clea? Driving maul?
I reckon driving maul. I think we might normally see us trying to break out of the maul in this area, but unfortunately that's just been overthrown.
Wow, the ball is on a ice hockey rink right now. It's slipping out of everybody's hands. Sale, though, some players in the backfield getting really G'd up and excited by that small win for Sale Sharks.
Yeah, they've done quite well, to be fair. Chiefs have been in this inside the 10 at the very least, if not inside the 22, since pretty much the start of the game, and they've come out still with no score. So I think it is a positive outcome for Sale, although worrying that they can't seem to exit, and I know the wind is incredibly strong. I think we will eventually see that pressure break.
Ball has just spilt out the back of the scrum there. Ortiz feeds the ball on to Wood, who's making good gain line. Cleared over the breakdown well by Tarling. Detisha Harper well met by Demi Swan and Charlie Jacoby there. Another inside ball to Prothero, who was met nicely by Swan and Orchard. Big hit there.
Great tackle that was by Neve.
Duffy carrying up towards the line, getting a bit more ground, and Adela over the ball. Brilliant steal there from Tricky, number 7. Unfortunately, just knocked it on in the process. Well, that is what we're going to see all day, I think, from Tricky.
Yeah.
How quick was she in there?
I know, crowd not happy with that one. I think the referee, they would have liked if the referee let that become a penalty. Yeah, I think that's kind of a sign of how Chiefs are going to play. You saw some really good defence, particularly from Dorothy Wall, Charlie Jacoby getting involved, Ebony Jeffries, Neve Orchard absolutely smacking someone backwards. We're going to see a lot more of that. Tricky's inevitably going to get involved in a couple of those tackles, and we've seen her there growing her poaching game, getting over that ball. Unfortunately, she didn't. Referee deemed it was a knock on, but hopefully Chiefs get a chance to turn over this scrum.
Yeah, what's nice to see actually is Tricky actually ripped the ball out of her hands there. We quite often get people sat over the breakdowns and just sort of holding on to the ball, and the referees aren't rewarding that in the moment. So it's really good to see her doing that. Duffy plays across the face and then pops it off to a centre. Ball spilt out into Eva Wood's hands. Tackled by Wall. Rigoni picking through the centre. She's a big threat today. And was there big carry, bumping off Clara Nielsen. Unfortunately, ball there just slipping out of the fullback's hands. Looks like Sale are trying to play with some tempo.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that might be something that we see a little bit more of throughout the game, and it's definitely a strength of theirs, that those sort of quick picks around the ruck, trying to create momentum, putting the defence on the back foot. I think it's a particularly good idea for them here to do that and then look to kick on the hoof, because the structured exits, we've seen some pressure in terms of Marin Doige getting a block down, and then some wind pressure causing them to not get that much distance. So I think potentially if they could gain momentum through that quick pick game and then try and kick a lower kick which doesn't get gathered by the wind and also doesn't have the pressure of the block down, that might be their way to exit from this area.
Anyone would think you're a 10, Clee.
I know.
A couple of players just getting looked at for the moment. Lucy Nye getting a bit of extra strapping to her leg. All looks okay, and it looks as though the rain has started to settle a little bit here. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more ball in hand and moving now. For Chiefs today, we're seeing sort of a new combination of front row. Often we'll see them coming off the bench together, but potentially not starting.
Yeah,
What's it like having that change of front row?
I think, to be fair, we're very fortunate in Chiefs that we've got hugely experienced players right across the board. So, although Demi doesn't have an international cap, I think she's been in international environments and she will become internationally capped. You know, you've got a very experienced group of players around her as well. Claire's obviously been internationally captain, so is Charlie. So I think, albeit that they're not the regular starters, they still bring a huge wealth of experience to that area.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of people getting back in the squad, Gabby Cantona is taking back the 12 shirt this week. How's Gabby been at training this week, and what sort of value do you think she adds?
Yeah, Gabby's been amazing, to be honest. She's really added a lot of, I would say, speed, which is not something I think Gabby would maybe say about herself.
No.
But she's added a lot of speed of thought and injection of pace into the backline attacks, particularly in training. And I know today is maybe a difficult day to express that speed, but I hope she does get dry ball and get a chance to show everyone how hard she's been working in the last number of weeks.
Absolutely. Sale Sharks taking on the line out. Ball going backwards, bobbling back towards Eva Wood, carrying again. She's getting on the ball a lot today off of her wing. Tiling carrying it into two Exeter Chiefs players, and they're just going around the corner over and over with their forward carriers. Small tip on there from Lizzie Duffy, and again the same way. Rigoni looking for the tip off out the back, intercepted there by McDonald, and speed off of the line there by Liv Ortiz, forcing the knock on from Neve Orchard there.
I don't know whether we'll call that good line speed or potentially offside, but I think it is slightly questionable. But if the referee's not paying attention, crack on, I guess. I think that was unfortunate because it was a good defensive pressure play from Exeter to turn the ball over, and it was a good area again for them to attack from. So we're going to reset with another Sales scrum.
Another scrum. It's good to see the scrum battle going well this week and both sides staying up.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
Last weekend it was a bit of a tough day at the office when we were away at Loughborough Lightning, playing against their front row. It was a lot of reset scrums, a lot of penalties, a lot of free kicks, so it's really positive pictures today.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes teams pose tactical challenges, but I think today is just going to be a matter of staying on your feet. Last week with Loughborough, they do like to paint different pictures, trying to challenge the referee's decision making. That's a great turnover there from Tricky, I think.
Yeah, great speed over the ball again. Sale probably not looking after their breakdown quite as well as they should be at the moment. It's potentially because there is such disconnect in the play, because it's a little bit off the cuff. The people aren't maybe where they expect they to be, but they should be looking to sort of latch over at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we'll see, Chiefs get a chance to launch their maul off this line out. I know the last one didn't go to hand, but it will be a good kind of measure of where we're at, I think, if we see them maul from here.
Absolutely. Nielsen throwing the ball into the middle of the line out. Dropped by Orchard and back in Sale Sharks' hands. Strong carry from Harper there, pushing off a couple of Chiefs defenders. Going back towards the short side. Harper back on the ball, carrying again. Very strong carrier for the Sale Sharks side. Ortiz taking a little snap around the breakdown, met well by McMahon.
The weather is really getting a lot worse. I think, I don't know if the stream is doing it justice, but it is absolutely pelting it down.
Yeah. Duffy, Exton kick, good kick that time from the 10. Tessier, one bounce of the ball, sends it back down to the Sale Sharks, 22-metre. Ball has bounced, Duffy has misfielded it, and McDonald is chasing, and she meets Duffy and takes her over the end of the pitch.
That's an absolute nightmare kick to deal with. I mean, I couldn't tell you whether that ball was going to go out or sit right on the the dead ball line, but
Yeah, I mean,
great
I'm not-
defensive chase.
I'm not sure what's happening here because Duffy didn't touch the ball down in the end goal area there. McDonald actually tackled her back into touch over the line, so I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe the referee took her picking the ball up as placing it down.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Duffy sends the ball over the head of Tasker, feeding the ball onto Neve Orchard. Now he passes the ball on to Johnson. Through the hands of Perry into Wall, another big carry from her. Goes to chip the ball, knocked on by Cantona in the process. Prothero on the ball, she's going to have a go from here. Well cleared there from Ortiz. Benny carrying the ball. And was well met by Jeffries. Huge collision there. A little bit of a tricky breakdown for Ortiz to get the ball out. She's managed to find it and find Swales. Picked through the middle of the breakdown from Harper. Offloaded. Ortiz marshalling the forwards. Ball passed backwards back in to Duffy. Good kick pressure there from Orchard and Wall, driving the Sale Sharks backwards.
Great defensive pressure here from Exeter. The crowd are really starting to get behind them.
Torling carrying into the contact. Good to see her back on the pitch after a few weeks out at the start of the season. Nielsen taking the shirt off to Taisha Harper. There, she can't see. And it's a turnover at the same time. Well, I've not quite seen that before. And Tessier's gone quickly, chipped it over the top, and she was hit off the ball, it looks like, but it's a chase between Jarrell and Perry.
Those type of probing kicks, as we see, are quite difficult for anyone to deal with. So I think it's a good idea, rather than continuing to hammer the door down for the last 20 minutes, which we have been doing, and come away with no score. Both Tess and Taylor and Gabby, to be fair, are really good at putting those kicks through. So I think in this area of the pitch, while we try and get our first score on the board, it is a good idea.
Sure, another exit. Orchard carrying the ball back in. Tip off there to Cantona. Cross to Tessier, steps back inside. Carries into some congested traffic. Johnson driving through the contact. Sale Sharks have a lot of numbers on this side. Heavy defensive pressure. Ball knocked forward there by Swan into Duffy's hands. She's going to play on. Carrying out the 22, offloading there to Benson. With Antwis taking the ball over again. Chiefs really hammering at the breakdown now. Swales carrying forward, ball spilling out there, out the breakdown. Nielsen looking to get over the ball again, which she has.
Great turnover there from Clara.
Brilliant defensive work there from Nielsen. Passing the ball out, quick tap, going to Orchard, carrying back inside. Ball's looking like it's built forward then, maybe not seen by the referee. More dominant forward carries there from Johnson. Well cleared over the breakdown. Looking like the Chiefs' back line are getting a little bit in each other's way. Ball spitting out the back of the breakdown. Tessier picking it up and getting to her feet again, driving forward. We can see Taylor Perry walking off to the side of the pitch at the moment. She might have taken a knock. And that is a turnover there by Neve Swales.
The breakdown is an absolute nightmare today. I mean, we've seen turnovers from both sides, but we've also seen quite a bit of afters.
There's a lot. I've never seen anyone get a turnover with their top over their head, so fair play, Clara. Perry is back on her feet for now. Unfortunately, Duffy has not made much ground on that kick, and we can see that Perry is coming off the pitch. Looks like a lower leg injury, so McGillivray, wearing number 22, is making an early appearance.
That's very disappointing for Taylor. I think she's been playing really well. She's a very exciting player. She's only been growing into that position, to be fair, and I really hope that is a precautionary removal rather than anything too serious.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, Taylor and Tess are absolutely great players, and they probably bring some more energy and life into our game, which, you know, is always exciting and something we need. Huge hit there from a Swan, forcing the knock on. And we have another scrum.
We just have Niamh Orchard looking a little bit ginger after that collision. I think with the weather, the conditions, how much we're contesting each breakdown on both sides, I think unfortunately we are seeing a few people pick up knocks.
Yeah, we have a player from the Sharks side down as well. Not sure who it is on the knee. Hopefully it's just precautionary. Well, 26 minutes into the game, 0-0, and it's been pretty slow. How do you think we're gonna move forward? Is it gonna be much the same, or?
I really think we need to convert on these opportunities very soon. Like, I think Sale will be very happy. They're playing against the wind, 26 minutes into the game. We're at home, and we still haven't scored. You know, I think they'll take a lot of positives from that. While they've struggled to exit, they've also, you know, kept us scoreless. So I think that's a huge positive from their perspective. Hopefully, for Exeter Chiefs' sake, we do convert on some of those opportunities soon. And even looking forward from that point of view, hopefully the weather does die down a little bit, because we're going to be facing this wind in the second half and facing similar issues that Sale are facing now in terms of exiting. So a little bit more composure. I think tighten things up. I think those worm or kick through options are looking promising. Keep hammering the breakdown, double shots, all that kind of stuff. But I think we really do need to get over that try line soon to gain a bit of confidence and momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've seen over the course of this weekend, round 15 of the PWR, scores going all sorts of ways. We saw Ealing beat Bristol Bears yesterday. Saracens beating Harlequins at the Stoop, ending their 10-win streak. How important are the points going to be towards this end of the season?
Well, they're huge. I mean, I think it's the most exciting top four race, I guess you could say, that we've had since I've played in the PWR. It's always been quite clear, or there's always been a breakaway group. I think a lot of credit needs to go towards teams like Trailfinders and Loughborough, to be fair. Loughborough in a slightly different position in the league, but equally challenging those top teams. We've seen them both turn over, you know, top teams in recent weeks, and I think that's really important for the growth of the game.
Absolutely. So hopefully some points coming away. Maximising points. We want the 5, Sale want the 5 too, so we'll see how it comes at the end of this match. Scrum down there for Chiefs, but Sale have come away from the ball, and a penalty for not rolling away. Ortiz has carried the ball. She has made a break from the quick tap of the penalty, getting chased down by the Chiefs pack, offloading it there to Swales, making a break, offloading again to Wood. She's met well by Lucy Nye. Ebony Jeffries over the ball, cleared out by Prothero. This is the first time we've really seen Sale attacking into the Exeter Chiefs half, and they have got the ball and they're still moving forward. Duffy throws the dummy straight into Jacoby. I don't think that's where she wants to be going. Benson carrying through, well met by a tricky. Ball again goes backwards from Sale Sharks. Strong defence here by the Chiefs. Wall countering that breakdown. Ortiz looking at that little pop back inside of the breakdown for Wood. We've seen her hanging around the middle of the pitch all day today. She definitely wants to get involved. Harper carrying the ball. And Wiss almost tackling herself. Good clear out there from the Sale Sharks. Putting Orchard onto the floor. Moving through the hands from Duffy. She opts to put boot to ball. Good kick in behind the Chiefs' back line. Tess dancing around and exits herself. Kicks it straight back into the hands of Prothero. Prothero moving up towards the 22. Good run. And she's going 2 meters outside from the 22. Momentum staying on top with Sale Sharks. Ball coming out of that breakdown to Duffy. Rigoni on a hard line. Quite a harsh pass from the breakdown there from Ortiz. Ball spilt on the floor, claimed first by a Sharks player.
I think it's quite difficult, like maybe teams in general want to cover the whole width of the pitch, but in conditions like this, it's very unlikely that Sale are going to be able to get the ball to width. If I was Chiefs right now, I'd tighten right up.
Absolutely.
Because they're attacking that space around the breakdown, they're getting offloads away. If we could tighten up and get some really positive double shots on, I think we'd force the knock on or just kill their momentum.
Absolutely. So most teams, as we know, have a process defensively. We're at the moment maintaining our ordinary spacings. However, as you just mentioned, we need to make a change because look at the width of Sale Sharks attacking right now. They're within the 15 metres of each side of the pitch. Cheers from the crowd there that there was a Sale Sharks knock on. They remain with the ball. Torling stepping back on the inside. Rigoni hitting a hard line, misses her, goes to Wood, fends off, almost breaking the tackle of two. Sharks flooding around the corner into the short side. Duffy putting boot to ball again, ricocheting off Tasker, and Knight has cleaned up the ball with Tessier pushing backwards, and I think that's an offside coming off Tessier into a Chiefs player in front, reclaiming the ball.
Yeah, offside after the knock on, I think.
Wow, all that pressure that Chiefs put on the Sharks in the first 25 minutes of the game, and look where we are now.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. That was really exciting play and, smart options taken, particularly the penalty back here to get them out of their half and into ours by Liv Ortiz. Quick thinking, offloading play. They're playing the type of style of rugby that Sale often play, but it's really working for them today, and they're more used to these conditions, I think, than Exeter Chiefs are.
Absolutely. I think their pitch often struggles. Okay, first attacking to score line out from the Sharks. 6-man line out, thrown towards the front. Good throw in there from Wright. Charging forwards, ball is sat comfortably at the back of the maul. Still creeping forward from the Sharks. The backs are going forward and Wright is over the line. Wow.
Scored by Molly Wright, I think.
Scored by Molly Wright, yeah.
Look, credit where credit's due. As I've said, that's really good play from Sale. They're playing against the wind in horrible conditions. Their first entry into R22, first set piece launch in that area, and they score. And that's really good attacking play. Credit where it's due to Liv Ortiz as well, getting them up the pitch and the type of play that she marshalled them through to gain more momentum and get them into the 22.
Absolutely. So Sale Sharks taking the first 5 points of the afternoon. Duffy to follow with the conversion, hoping to make it 7. We'll see where this kick goes in the windy conditions. And it was going postwards, but then just picked up by the wind. So just the 5 for that one.
That was a lovely strike. I think just the wind is very strong.
Absolutely. So let's hope Chiefs get this going again with a bit of pressure back on Sale, pin them back in their half, and like you've said, game management needs to be a little bit smarter. Let's see where Tessier opts to kick for.
Hopefully we look to go deep and just pin them down there.
Absolutely. Which she has done just over the head of the Sharks defenders, touched by Prothero, popping it back off to Duffy. Good feet there from Duffy, evading 2 defenders and then met by Jacoby. Think there might have been a bit of a collision there in the breakdown, in the tackle. Duffy looks in a little bit of pain.
I think it's a lower limb injury again. I'm not sure how that in that last collision.
Yeah, I think it's those double shots. She's got chopped down by McMahon and then met as well by Jacoby. Let's hope she gets back up because she is orchestrating the game quite nicely for the Sharks.
Yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate ones. There's nothing anyone can do about that.
Yeah. While we're here, let's talk a little bit about the Sale Sharks midfield. Beatrice Rigoni, what do we see her as like to play against? She's up in a lot of our conversations during the week.
Yeah, she's a very exciting player. She's got great vision. I think probably since she's been at Sale, it's taken them a little while, as it would with any traditional English team, to kind of get used to playing that style of rugby. But I think they're really growing into working with her, and she's grown into working with them as well. She's probably one of the most exciting players in women's rugby, to be fair. She's got great vision, she's got great skill and ability as well to back that up. So it may not be the day for her today, but I do hope that she gets to express some of that skill, because she's great. It's great to have players like that in the league.
Absolutely, and something we also touched on is her connection with the 9 coming off the bench, Sophia Stefan. They've been playing really nicely together. They were some of our biggest threats, so potentially Sale Sharks seeing the second half as an opportunity to maybe exploit that, or it's just about the management of the game with Ortiz coming on at the start. But them two working together have been connecting really nicely.
Yeah, I mean, they're very strong in that position. There's 2 international 9s there, and I think to be able, for Sale to be able to get into a position where they can be bringing that calibre of player off the bench is a sign of growth for them. And I think hopefully next year as well we see them with a bit more recruitment and a bit more kind of development. But I think it's really important that Sale maintain their position in the league and keep growing rugby in that area of the country, because it is very important. And as we see the rugby in England progress past the World Cup, you want young girls to see local opportunities for them to play at the highest level.
Absolutely, and we can see, the fixtures of the Rugby World Cup, some up at the Stadium of Light, fixtures up north. We're trying to grow the game and promote the game in those areas. However, how much of a struggle is it when there just isn't that access for professional rugby for girls and women's players at that time? Yeah,
there's lots of challenges. I mean, league is also quite a big draw in that area of the country. Soccer is quite a big draw in that area of the country, and I think the most important thing for me from that perspective is that people do have role models of some sort, because I think women's rugby is slightly different to men's rugby. Our pathway is slightly different. I think as long as people are playing some form of sport, the people who are meant to find rugby inevitably always find it. That's certainly the case for me. I didn't find it till a little bit later in life. But I think as long as people are active and playing some kind of sport, that's really important. So while there might be lots of other opportunities up north, I think it is also key that they keep a rugby team up there, and a successful one at that.
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's, rugby attracts people attract rugby, and as you can see, with the calibre of players we now have in the Premiership, that is what it's doing. We can see Duffy back on her feet now, being seen to by the medics, testing to see whether she can play on. I think we can see Chiefs and Sale putting the ball through the hands at the moment, keeping warm.
I would be surprised to see her continue, but she is, as you said, she's back up on her feet, and I think maybe they're going to strap that ankle or knee.
Yeah, and I think Duffy had a lower leg injury towards the start of the season, so potentially just aggravated that, or a little bit of a scare for her. But we're going to see her carry on, so we'll see how she gets on for the next 5 minutes or so.
All the backs are doing their best to keep warm on both sides.
They're doing little dances, aren't they? It's not a day for the backs. So we will be restarting with a Sharks scrum after that stoppage in play. We're on about 38 minutes now on the clock, but I don't think we've had stoppage time, so that will probably keep running. Good engagement. Ortiz feeds the ball. Chiefs getting a little bit of a shove on. Picked up by Tolling at the back of the scrum. Round the corner, looking to set that platform for the kick again. Rigoni's kick charged down by Wall. Another charge down kick there into touch for Sharks line out. What's the issue going on around the charge downs, Clee?
I think it's purely that she's setting a little bit closer to the breakdown, because obviously there's such a strong wind. But then obviously the ball is slippery, so she's maybe taking an extra second to regather it. And for Chiefs in this area of the pitch, they've got nothing to lose. So they can put huge defensive pressure on, knowing that it's a difficult exit anyway. So
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
the favour is probably on the defensive team in this instance. And hopefully, as I said, the wind isn't as strong in the second half.
Fingers crossed. We have another stoppage in play. I think they are going to be bringing Duffy off of the pitch. She doesn't look comfortable. She's had her knee strapped, but she doesn't look good.
That is
walking
unfortunate.
off the pitch there.
I hope she is okay.
Absolutely. We never like to see players go down.
Katana Howard maybe coming on, number 22.
Yeah, we can see her getting her trackies off on the bottom of the pitch. Katana Howard jogging onto the pitch. This will be a good matchup in the centres for Cantona and Howard, American teammates.
I'm not sure who goes to 10 in this situation, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Ball safely to the front of the line out, full right. Carried up strongly by Torling, supported by two fellow teammates. Ortiz with the ball at the back. Passed the ball backwards, bobbling along the floor. Collected well. And they're back in the same position. Chiefs looking to put the line speed pressure on again. Harper, another collision. And the ball has gone back to Howard. Interesting, she's immediately taken over kicking duties, cleared just past the 22. Tessier coming onto the ball there, met well by the Sharks' defence. Jacoby carrying forward. Nye caught up a little bit at the end of that breakdown, but gets the ball away nicely through the hands of Cantona. Cantona stepping up at 10 now by the looks of it. Now Perry has gone off. Back down the short side for Swan. Tessier feeding. Claudia McDonald skipping through one tackle as she's been doing all afternoon. Cleared over the top. Great clear out by Tessier. Quick ball away through into the 22 for Jeffries. Maintaining, playing through 10 from the forwards. And the Sharks look a little bit shortened up now. Going out the back for McGillivray. Fending off and finding Tasker. Tasker hopping around. Good tackle there from Howard.
I think we just got a little bit flat in our attack there. We had space out wide, but we weren't able to take it.
Absolutely, maybe a little bit of lack of communication there. Through the hands, feeding Jacoby. Well met by the Sharks' defence. Double collisions there. Pass there, going across the floor from Nye, slipping out of the hands, and Sales have the ball. Space in the backfield, but she kicks it straight up in the air, and it goes to Tasker, who knocks the ball into touch. That's a shame, because that could have been a nice run in there for Tasker. We haven't seen much of her on the ball today. Again, probably not going to, unfortunately, because of the conditions, but how's Georgina been since coming down this season?
I think she's excellent. She's a brilliant addition. She's a great personality. She fits very well into the team. She's a hard worker. And one thing I really like about her is how aggressive she is in defence. She obviously played in this league for a long time, so excited to see her hopefully get some time on ball today.
For sure. She was previously at Loughborough Lightning, had a lot of game time there. Quite often at fullback, sometimes looking into the centres. Chiefs seeing her more as a wing at the moment.
I think the opportunities do exist for us to get the ball out wide, but it's just quite difficult. Like Sale are probably doing what we should do. They're setting quite narrow in defence, putting lots of pressure on.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pressure on from the back of the scrum there from Nye. On Ortiz getting the ball away. McMahon over the ball, almost getting her hands on it again, being an absolute pain, forcing Rigoni to make a clear out. Harper carrying the ball outside of the 22. Quick line speed off the line from Johnson, meeting Sale Sharks captain Morwenna Torling today. Another clear and knocked on, picked up there by the Chiefs. Room for transition ball now. Spooked by the Sale Sharks defence. Holly Thorpe moving the ball on. 4v2, can the Chiefs execute off the hands of Wood? Nielsen picking up the scraps. Johnson carrying Dominant into the 22. Free ball, penalty for the Chiefs. Not rolling away with Sale Sharks. Nicely out of the back for Cantona. McGillivray well met.
I think we should look to take this penalty advantage opportunity if we can.
Absolutely. And ball fumbled there by Jacoby going onto the short side. A little bit of free play. We've got the Exeter Chiefs head coach Susie Appleby screaming line out. What will they do?
Well, I think they're going to go to line out now. I think if we had had a little bit more maybe awareness of what was happening there, we could have put one of those probing kicks through. Because again, we have the players who can finish those off. It's just about taking the opportunities when they're there, rather than hammering the door down when we haven't gotten over the line just yet. And again, we could have always come back to that penalty. We're not going to lose that advantage if we take the kick and it comes to nothing. We'll come back and we can kick for line out.
For sure. So Nielsen with the ball in her hands, looking to throw the line out. Chiefs miscommunication there, not sure what was going on. Ball picked up well by Sale Sharks. It's a little bit of a mess there with bodies everywhere. Sale Sharks looking to drive it forward. And the Chiefs have held that up.
Looks like half-time.
And we are going into the half. How big of an opportunity is that to miss for the Chiefs going into half-time?
Oh, it's huge. I don't really know what happened. It looked like there was either confusion in the call or the call never came, but Sale were the only people in the air, so they steal that ball from us, and again they steal another opportunity for us to get points on the board.
Absolutely. So half-time here at Sandy Park. Sale Sharks 5, Exeter Chiefs 0. Going in at the break. Scrappy game so far. Lots of set piece, but ultimately Sale going in ahead. We'll see what the second half brings. Welcome back to Sandy Park for the second half of Exeter Chiefs versus Sale Shark. Going into the break, Sale Sharks 5 points up. We have had a few changes at half-time by the looks of it. Not too sure what all of those are now, so we'll get confirmation on that and check in a moment. Big 40 minutes for Exeter Chiefs.
By the looks of it, Dalika Menon is on, Emily Chitosi is on.
Ailey Sinclair is also on. So we have Em Tatosi, Flo Long, Dalika Menon replacing Demi Swan, Clara Nielsen and Charlie Jacobi. Poppy Leach has come on, as well as Ailey Sinclair into the backs. Alex Tessier kicking off deep to the right of our screens. Prothero fielding the ball. Strong carry up towards the 10-metre line. No changes, as it seems, for Sale Sharks at the half-time break.
Now like the weather has settled a little bit too, which is good for us.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but that does look like there is a bit of blue sky ahead of us, Clee. Sharks opting to play deep out the back to Howard, putting boot to ball. Good exit there, past fullback Alex Tessier and into touch. That is an excellent clearance kick there.
Great use of the wind and an excellent boot.
So as we can probably expect, Sale Sharks kicking the ball a lot more in this half. They've weathered a literal storm and the Chiefs storm in the first half, keeping them out of the 22, holding up tries, letting the ball run dead, quite a few goal line dropouts, and yet they come away with a drive-in maul try. Totosi's first throw of the game, back into the line out. Poppy Leach executed not perfectly, but Chiefs come away with the ball. Nye back into the 22 to Tessier, not fielded by Sharks, ball bouncing, and there is a penalty for Sharks.
I think not allowing access to the ball. So when you kick chase, the retreating players from the Sale team, they can't block off the catcher. You need to allow access for the tackle to happen. So I think that's what that one is for.
So that has given Sale the opportunity for a line out about 10 metres out from our try line. We can assume they'll be going for the drive-in maul again after their success last time. Ball thrown in successfully to the front of the line out, and they are rumbling forward already. Chiefs coming up to defend it. This time, Sale Sharks' backs not committing to the maul. Ortiz is digging at the back there, probably trying to get the ball out. And she feeds onto a show and go there. Sharks 1 metre out from the try line, pick and go. And the ball has been held up by the Chiefs. Well, Sharks have definitely come out firing.
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, I got that last call completely wrong. It was against Exeter Chiefs for not retreating, I think, on the kick. Wasn't that it?
I
thought it was against Sale for not allowing access. It was against Exeter Chiefs for not retreating, so offside, I think,
well,
on the kick chase.
You said it so convincingly. You
I know.
Can convince me.
I could have got the referee with that one too, I reckon.
Yeah. Kick from Tessier, not much distance, bobbling along the floor, collected by Brown. Sharks, another attacking opportunity into the 22, chopped down by Leach, assisted by McMahon. Ortiz getting the ball away from the base. Good line speed from Menon, getting over the breakdown as she quite often does. Line there from Howard. Rigoni on her inside, popped off to the right, and it is a try for Beatrice Rigoni under the sticks.
Wow, Catan Howard is really making her presence felt in this game. A great kick to exit and get them territory, and then that lovely lift ball to Rigoni.
Absolutely.
She's playing very well.
Sharks playing very direct as they were in the second half. Strong line, and the support line from Rigoni right off the shoulder. Perfect connection there in the back line for Sharks.
Came from a bit of a poor kick, if we're going to be honest, though, from the goal line dropout. We knew we need to be finding a little bit closer to the touchline with those kicks. You give them an opportunity to attack from midfield there. And we haven't really, I guess it is still, the wind is obviously still quite strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Irwin looking to take this kick. Held nicely on the base of the tee by Rigoni. She doesn't just set up tries, she sets up conversions too. Left-footed strike through the centre of the uprights, adding the extra 2, taking us to Sale Sharks 12, Exeter Chiefs 0. If you're Sale at this moment in time, 12-0 up, 45 minutes into the game, what are you saying?
Yeah, well, you're very happy, and I think you keep doing what you're doing because it's working. You know, those tight picks around the breakdown, little lifts and jab lines. A good low kick, like the last one that we saw from Katana to exit, or probing kicks that are kept quite low and don't get caught in the wind. But yeah, I think they're playing quite well, to be honest. I think they're quite happy.
Small error there from Irwin. Actually looks to clear the lines. It goes straight into touch. One of the first errors we've seen from her today. She's had a very solid game, leaving Chiefs with a line out attacking just outside of the 22.
That will be a relief for Chiefs, and I think we're bringing both Robinson sisters on as I see them getting ready to replace, I think, Lucy Nye and... Niamh Orchard.
Well, this is the first appearance we've had from Emily Robinson in quite some weeks as she was out of an ankle injury. How good is it to have her back in the squad, Clee?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, Emily is a very experienced player across the Premiership. She's been with Harlequins for a number of years. She's added great value down here in terms of leadership, and she's a quality player. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see her back. I think the whole club is delighted to have her back. She adds a lot of value.
For sure, and we can see Flo Robinson coming on for Lucy Nye. How good has Lucy been today? It's great to see her getting a starting opportunity in the Chiefs shirt.
Yeah, Lucy is an Exeter local. I think a lot of her family are probably here at this game, and if they're not here, they're probably watching online. It was always kind of an ambition of hers to come back to Exeter Chiefs and to play. And I think she's been afforded that opportunity by the RAF, which is brilliant. She's the first club player to be afforded that opportunity by the RAF. The other players that have been afforded the same kind of opportunity are the likes of Amy Cocaine, so it's a huge step forward, and hopefully we see a lot more club players being seen as professional and being allowed to play by the other services.
Absolutely. It's great to see Lucy Nye back playing down the south. Sale with the feed in the scrum, the ball popping out the back. Well, again, through the hands to Howard, putting the Sale back. Sale Sharks back down into the Exeter Chiefs 22. If this bobbles out, it's going to be a 50-22. Well fielded by Deutsch, retreating on the kick. Support getting back there. Tasker clearing over the breakdown. Well managed in the end there by Chiefs.
That's an unbelievable boot again by Katana.
That was a huge kick, assisted by the wind, but she is a very strong player. I think that would have probably been one of the 50-22s of the season if we had seen it. And ball passed back from the breakdown. Tessier knocking it on there and hoofing it in frustration into touch. Pressure back down on Exeter Chiefs.
I think if we can get a good scrum platform here and an exit, look to build pressure a little bit further up the pitch. But I think, I'm not sure what happened on the line-out that we had up in this this right-hand side just outside the 22, but the referee turned us over.
I think from what I could see, there was a knock-on from the transfer between the ball catcher and the +1. So the person who goes in receiving the ball at the back of the line-out and then transfers it back to the hooker.
Well, that is unfortunate because that was a good attacking opportunity for us.
It was, absolutely. So Sale Sharks attacking on our 5 metre line with a scrum. Chiefs heavy push on the scrum, still marching the Sale Sharks backwards. Sharks coming out with the ball. Tawling doing very well at the back of that scrum. And here they come round the corner, attacking again. Harper brought to the ground. Ortiz now having the penalty advantage. Short on the short side from Chiefs defensively. Shifted to the edge. Georgina Tasker wrestling with the Sale Sharks winger. And they reset off the edge. Good line speed from the Chiefs. Slowing Sharks attacking platform down. Harper with another carry through the middle. And Sharks opting for the kick through. Charge down by Wall, but Prothero has picked up the scraps and is back on the attack. Sharks back to where they were a few phases ago, playing off the edge. Again, another carry from Harper into the thick of the contact. Good line speed there from McMahon with Menin over the ball. No advantage coming there for the Sharks.
I think back for a penalty of not rolling away, potentially.
Yeah, I think so too.
Against Georgina, I think it was on the previous edge ruck.
So have put the ball back down into the corner. Carbon copy of what we have already seen.
I hope to see Chiefs compete here because this is a high pressure. It's a high pressure area, and obviously we know with the wind it's a difficult throw.
We have a physio on the pitch at the moment, just making sure Jarrell is okay, and they walk into the line out. 6-man attacking line out. Ball taken towards the front. Chiefs solid defence. Sharks going round the corner. Ball not transferred. Popped off of the top and into the centres. Irwin carrying with the ball. Quick ball round the corner here for the Sharks. And again, Rigoni providing that short line. Met by Johnson in the collision. And Sharks attack the same way. Good leg drive there. Sharks opting to go open. Ball spilling out. Good defence by Cantona. Ball shoveled onto Wood. Sharks have been driven back. They will restart carrying into the 22. Jarrell. On to Antwis. Good clear out there. Owen. Hard line on Katona. Katona, was there an offload opportunity to the left of her, making a break onto the Chiefs 5 metre line. Slow ball coming now for the Sharks, opting for the short picks round the corner of the breakdown.
That's another huge impact, I think, from Katana Howard creating that line break.
Absolutely, she has been immense since she has come on for Duffy. Opting to pass the ball. Owen. Ball flicks backwards in the tackle from McGillivray. McGillivray driving Sharks backwards again. Prothero back to her feet. And Carrie Strong driven backwards by McMahon and Wall, connecting together. Menin is over the ball. Doesn't have hands on it though. And it is knocked on by Antwis. Chiefs have possession. Transition opportunity here for the Chiefs. There is some space on the open side if they can get the ball wide. Opting to carry through the middle through Wall. Tess exiting the ball. Looks like a crossfield option to Sinclair. Sinclair taking the step inwards and making a break through the middle. Clearing up outside of the 22. Good clear out by Flo Robinson. Ball dropped over the shoulder of Long but cleared up by Leach. Chiefs are in their attacking shape. Cantona on the ball, feeding Menin. Strong clear. Cantona nudging the ball over the top and putting it into touch.
Good option there from Gabby. I think we all breathed a sigh of relief when Ailey Sinclair caught that last kick. Keeping the ball low in this area of the pitch is going to be key. The wind is taking anything that goes high, and it's a huge risk doing that in that area of the pitch for us.
Absolutely. Well, Chiefs will take great confidence from that, because that's been some building pressure from the Sharks for a little while now, and they've managed to turn the Sharks over on Chiefs' try line, and have now got another defensive set on the halfway line.
Sale bringing on the reinforcements. I think Taisha Harper and Molly Morrissey potentially coming off.
Molly Wright, I believe,
Sorry.
the hooker, almost Molly Morrissey, is coming on as number 20 soon enough. Taisha Harper has had a great game today. How many times have we mentioned her name on the ball? Providing a great platform for Sharks to go forward.
Yeah, it's good to see Sharks making their changes nice and early too. I think the way that the game was being played, it's obviously taken quite a lot out of the pack, and it's good to see them being able to bring on those reinforcements early. Chiefs have also done quite a lot of change up at halftime, but I think that's key in a game like today.
Absolutely. So number 16 running towards the line out. First job of the day for Scarlett Fielding is to throw the ball in.
Hopefully we get to see Chiefs compete in the air here and put a little bit of pressure on the aerial.
Absolutely. Sale opting for a 6-man line out. Ball coming out of the hands at the top to Tosi, picking up the scraps. Robinson feeding the ball to Wall, carrying around the corner, supported by Leach and the other Robinson. Cleared away to Tessier, fed to Deutsch, going through the hard line, pass just behind her so she couldn't connect. Swales coming around the corner, offloading the ball to Prothero. Good strong fend by the fullback in a proper wrestle with Cantona. Ball is available at the back. Big collision there from McMahon. Feeding the ball to Irwin, who is opting to nudge the pressure back down onto the Chiefs. Tess not fielding that one, but it's going over the try line. And she has touched the ball down. So it will be another Exeter Chiefs goal line dropout.
Hopefully we see this one a little bit more towards the touchline.
Yeah, I think so. Slightly better kick, but it's still quite short. Thorpe getting on the ball, dancing feet around the Chiefs' defence. She hasn't been mentioned too much today, but she's getting involved much more now in the second half. Katie Benson straightening up, carrying the ball, and there was a penalty advantage being played, not rolling away from that breakdown, giving Sale Sharks another opportunity.
That's incredibly frustrating from a Chiefs perspective. You know, we would like to see maybe potentially that kick going a little bit longer if the wind allows, and then us getting good defensive organised pressure.
Absolutely. It's very difficult for these kicks to go far, and, you know, is there an opportunity for us to take those a little bit quicker while Sharks aren't set and ready to go?
I think so. Maybe shift the ball across the park, find where there's space, and maybe just go a bit quicker or longer.
Yeah, we need to win the energy battle. Second line out of the day for Fielding meets the front jumper very nicely at the front of the line out. Sharks getting the shove on. Chiefs defending strong. They are creeping forward towards the touchline. Ball is held up. Referee is telling Olivia Ortiz to use the ball, and it's being played away. Irwin, tip on to Howard. Strong carry. Not many players available for Sharks right now, but coming round the corner is Nick James, I believe, making an immediate impact and knocked on there for the Sharks. Turnover ball for the Chiefs. There is a lot of space on the wing for Georgina Tasker if she can get the ball away, but it is a
offside,
penalty.
I think. Yeah, great pressure, great defensive pressure there to cause that knock on from Tricky.
And they have chosen to tap the ball and carry. Wall driving up towards the 22. Robinson feeding Menin. Strong collision. Still on her feet. Driving through a classic Delika Menin carry. Getting us over the gain line. Chiefs have numbers in defence. Uses Rachel Johnson on the hard line. Powering up the pitch. Still going the same way to Tosi. On to McGillivray. McGillivray carrying the ball. Two players in the collision. Tessier carrying like a forward over the 10-metre line. Short side jump there from Robinson into Sinclair. Sinclair has been energy since she has come on. Leach passing the ball on to McMahon. Stepping slightly outside, keeping her feet. This is some good attacking play from the Chiefs. Robinson, great carry for her, getting back into the game. Cantona feeding Wool. Some very strong carries coming through the middle of the park. Menin again on the ball, stepping out of the way of players and dragging them down with her, passing the ball back. Cantona on the ball, feeding Johnson onto Deutsch. McMahon skipping McGillivray, inside ball to McGillivray from Sinclair.
This must be energy sapping stuff to, have to play all the way up the pitch.
Absolutely. Who's it taking more out of, Sharks or Chiefs, do we think?
Oh God, I think maybe Chiefs at the moment.
Chiefs carrying strongly, opting to play back the same way. Robinson well defended by the Sharks. Totosi making the clearing pass. Deutsch stepping back inside. We've got shouts of offside from the crowd. Another good carry there. Tessier feeds Nancy McGillivray into the contact. Well met by two Sharks players. Totosi. Good, strong collision. Menin. Wool opting to pick the ball back on and knocked it up in her path. And unfortunately, that is the end of that Chiefs attack. That's some really positive play. That's probably the biggest string of phases we've seen Chiefs put together at the moment.
Yeah, we saw Nancy in particular get on ball there a lot and offer herself to carry. I think in this type of game, normally we'd see her organising edge attack or long edge attack out wide and trying to get the ball through the hands. But today she's probably going to have to act as that extra forward and get involved in kind of tighter carries off 9. But it's good that Nancy's strong and willing and able to do that, and she's offered herself a lot in those last few phases. I think some of the positive carries that we had were often latched, and I think that's something that we probably neglected to do in that last carry, and that ball came loose at some point. So I think if we can start latching our carriers like Dalika, Dorothy, Emily Robinson, etc. through contact, we'll see a lot more gain line, and then we'll be able to move the ball out wide.
Absolutely. So Sharks with the put in from their replacement 9, Sophia Stefan, feeding the ball, boot to ball from Howard, as we have seen twice before. Ball bobbling over the head of Deutsch, and that is that 50-22 that we spoke about.
That is absolutely terrifying.
That's definitely one thing to call it.
If we can stop her getting the ball off set piece and the ability to do that, that's number one, I think, priority in that area of the pitch.
So we've seen this 3 times now. Sale Sharks have an attacking platform, set piece, pass the ball once through the 10, then to Katana Howard, and she has absolutely hoofed the ball down the pitch, twice making it fall short, and Chiefs run out the pitch, and now she's just got that 50-22. Exeter Chiefs need to change something.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, if you put the pressure on her, she's also a really strong ball carrier, so she's going to be able to manage herself through that contact. I think maybe something that Exeter could look to do, and don't get me wrong, I'm no back, but let's present fake space somewhere else so that she doesn't take that kicking option.
Absolutely, that's once again very clever game management for yourself, Clee. So Sale Sharks losing the line out there. Chiefs pulling it back for the kick. Tessier kicking it down the middle of the park. Ball's allowed to bounce. Who's going to reach it? Tessier face planting as she trips over the Sharks player. Shifted to Swales, cut down by Wool, and stripped by McGillivray in the contact. Great turnover there, space in the backfield if Chiefs can move it there soon enough. Ball is slow. Well caught by McMahon. And the ball is stripped back from the Sharks. Rachel Johnson over the ball, and she has now stolen the ball back. I cannot keep track of who has the ball and who doesn't have the ball. Menin on the ball. I can't keep track of her. Carrying once again through the contact. Wool carrying the ball. Driven well out of the way. Nice quick ball from McMahon. Johnson. Cantona on the ball, missing ball, the carrier. Sinclair making gain line down the side of the pitch again. Ball fed onto Robinson. Flo Long carrying the ball. She has been brought onto the pitch. Flong, as we more commonly call her. which you might hear us saying a lot today, and a penalty for the Chiefs, which has been taken quickly by Flo Robinson, dancing around the Sharks' defence. Leach clearing pass away. Tessier getting a bit stuck in the contact. That is slow ball for the Chiefs to play with. Flong again carrying the ball high into contact, getting stopped in her tracks this time. Cantona stepping up at 10. Doidge out the back to McGillivray. Tasker collecting the ball. Chiefs driven backwards. We start again, Robinson carrying the ball. Andalika making another break. I do not know where she comes from. Johnson into the contact, supported by and off feet, and Robinson goes quickly again with a quick tap. Sale Sharks retreating. Doidge on her shoulder, feeding the ball. Cantona at 9 clearing the ball away. Flong driving over the gain line.
Great latch there by Rachel Johnson. I think that's key to us securing possession.
Backwards by McGillivray. Ball back into Doidge's hands again. Dalika is being a ballerina today. She is inspiring me. I don't know how she is doing it. Great line there from Wall. Cantona hit. McGillivray on the break. It's a 1v1 with the backfield. Well chopped down by the Shell Sharks defence. And McMahon has picked the ball up in her way, making another 5 metres. Robinson feeding Leach into the contact. Driving forward, Chiefs are in the Sale Sharks 22. They need to execute now. Dalika Menon on the ball, carrying through, being driven backwards by the Sale Sharks defence. Totosi round the corner. Tessier with the ball, getting caught out by the Sale Sharks' high, narrow defence. We've been driven back onto the 22. Leach feeds Flo Long. Long pass from the base to Wall. Not many Exeter Chiefs players to the left here, so we come back towards the right. Flo Long making a break into the 22. That's what we've been waiting for. Emily Totosi keeping on top, a little bit more distance from the breakdown, so they have secure catches when they get onto it. And Sinclair steps back inside, brought down by Prothero. Great tackle there. Ball is with Johnson, carrying into her USA teammate, Katana Howard. Flo Long with another attack, met well by Benson. Chiefs opting for the 9 pass to Menon. Picking up round the corner now. The Chiefs forwards are taking control. Another pick round the corner, and it is a try. Who is coming up with the bottom of this one? I think it might have been Adele McMahon with that one. Who gets on this ball?
Rachel Johnson, I think.
Well, I thought it was tricky. Clee thinks it's Rachel, and we've just had announced that it was Emily Robinson, but I do think it was Rachel Johnson on the ball there.
Yeah. Well, that Maisie, you had a lot of work to do there. I'm sorry. I'll come in and give you a breather. Look, from my perspective, I think Chiefs are effective in attack when we get a couple of early latches on our forward carries. We create momentum. We get the ball out wide to the likes of Dorothy, the likes of Nancy. You know, we see offloads, we see penalty advantages. But when we don't do that, we see slow, messy breakdowns, we see knock-ons, we see poaches. I think we're forgetting the part of creating momentum. We're trying to do it first, second phase. We need to create momentum with latches. It's ugly rugby, but guess what? It's going to work today.
Absolutely. I think, once again, explaining it very nicely for us. Chiefs getting a bit of momentum and a bit of sustained pressure on the Sharks, and we come up with the reward. Some more changes for Sharks. We can see Holly Thorpe coming off, as well as Joe Brown, I believe, and Katie Benson. Ball kicked long into the Chiefs' half, backwards by McGillivray, not fielded. Robinson picking up the ball, carrying into contact. Acting 9 Sinclair feeds the ball to the forwards. Tessier clears the ball, and it is a good exit from the Chiefs.
That's much better. That's much more composed play in an area of the pitch like that.
Absolutely.
Again, I'd like to see us compete this line out. I think we're giving them much too easy ball when it's quite difficult conditions.
Sharks once again taking easy ball at the front of the line out. They have recognised that Chiefs are not going to defend there. Getting the first shove on. Still moving forwards, gone to ground by the Sharks. Stefan getting the ball out, travelling a little bit. Howard, well met this time by Sinclair on the hard line. Driven over the top of the breakdown, messy ball. Wall meeting Fielding, coming round the corner. Once again, Torling into the collision. And Menin is over the ball. And she has turned over the ball. That is some great defence from the Chiefs round the corner.
Talika Menin is a woman on a mission today.
She absolutely is. Robinson taking the quick tap again. McGillivray just tripping in her way. She's getting up okay, so it was just a trip over her laces. Going back down the short side. Leach carrying into contact. Good clear from McMahon once again, getting that quick speed of ball. Feeding Johnson. Exiting. Alex Tessier driving the ball down the 15-metre line. Finding ground twice. Counter-attack here from Rigoni. Popping the ball off straight into Emily Robinson on the collision. Rachel Johnson, great line speed off the line there, making it difficult for the Sharks to get platform. That is that probing kick from Stefan that we had talked about. That's a great kick, just missing our post on the try line there. So it is going to be a 5-metre line out to the Chiefs.
Yeah, we've got some thunder and lightning rumbling in the background. There's oohs and ahs from the crowd, so don't worry, there's nothing else happening, just a little bit more weather.
The referee has just turned time off on the game. Will he be doing a weather check to see if this is still safe to play?
Well, the worrying thing is, Maisie, at this point in the game, I think it's late enough that this could be considered the final score. It's past 65 minutes, I think. If the clock is correct, it's past 65 minutes. As we can see, Sailor in the lead, 12 points to 7. And if this is deemed the final score, we will be in trouble.
We will absolutely be in trouble. The teams are coming towards the referee. It looks like we're going to be sent inside. So we're just trying to find out whether the teams will come back out to play the final 10 minutes of the game. We have just heard that the teams will be back out. We are taking a short break while the heavens are literally opening. So, as you were just saying, we are on our clock at almost 62 minutes. The score is 7-12 to Sharks. Obviously, we want the rest of this game to go on. What upset would this cause at this time?
Yeah, I mean, this will be huge. Look, let's look at it from, as difficult as it is, let's look at it from a neutral's point of view. This will be a massive win for Sale Sharks. And to be fair, right now, they deserve it. They've played the conditions very well. Their substitutes have made a massive impact. Katana Howard has probably single-handedly changed the game with her ball in hand attack and her kicking game. Sale deserve everything that they have right now, and to be honest with you, Chiefs were just about getting going. So yeah, it would be incredibly disappointing if this is the final score, but I don't think we can have too many complaints.
No, not at all. You never know what can happen in the last 10 minutes of a game, though. So hopefully, as we say, people will come up. Some people are getting up out of their seats looking to clear the stadium. Not sure if they know something we don't at the moment. But we will leave it there for the commentary for the moment and rejoin you as soon as the players come back onto the pitch. Hello again, everybody. Thank you to those who are still on our live stream today. We have just heard that the game will continue to be played. The players will be back on the pitch in 6 or 7 minutes or so to finish the last 10 minutes off of the game. So bear with us and we will be back very shortly. Hello again, everybody, and hopefully for the final time this afternoon, Sale Sharks Women are now running back onto the field. I think we're going to have a couple of minutes for the players to warm themselves back up again, and then we will get back underway. Followed by the Exeter Chiefs running back out onto the pitch. Well, Clee, have you ever seen anything like this before?
No. The players were inside for so long, it's now summertime.
Yeah, I don't know if you can quite see it on the screen, but the sun is literally shining. Not any rain in sight. I think the wind's died right down, and we've got 10 minutes to play. So let's hope we get on with it quickly. Okay, so the players are making their way over to where the game was stopped from. We will resume with an Exeter Chiefs line out right on their 5 metre line. Once again, thank you very much to everyone who stayed with us here online and in the stadium. It's great to have you getting behind our girls for the last 10 minutes. Okay, the clock is on. Exeter Chiefs ball disrupted by Sale Sharks, cleared up, knock-on advantage only for the Chiefs. Starting back from behind their try line. Wall carrying the ball up. Another carry from Flo Long, looking to get some distance up the pitch before they can exit, I would think. Getting some good carries there. No advantage from the original knock-on at the line out, so it will be a Chiefs scrum.
I mean, I think this is a challenging ask for all players involved, but I think it is important that the game continues, and whatever the final result, so be it. But I think it is the right decision that the game is put back on.
Absolutely, I think it's such a tight game. Chiefs aren't going to want to let it finish because they're going to want to win the game. Sharks aren't going to want to end the game not knowing what the final score could have been with them in the lead right now. So we'll see. Robinson with the feed of the scrum. A solid feed there for the Exeter Chiefs. A small shove on, and they are now driving forward, and Chiefs have the penalty. It's quite a hard balance now, isn't it, Clee, with not much time left on the clock and chasing the game for 7 points for the win. What should Chiefs be doing now?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think the most important thing is that we don't lose composure in that area of the pitch. Again, I think we've, made the right decision there, kick and exit, and then hopefully secure a good line-out platform here. I think it is still a little bit windy, to be fair. It's hard to judge when it's dried up quite a lot. You can't see the wind so much when there's no rain. But hopefully, we do secure this line out and we can exit.
Absolutely. Throw to the front there from Totosi, and Chiefs opting for the driving maul to take them up the field. Ball at the back being marshalled round the corner from the Sharks, but that is done so illegally. Another penalty there for the Chiefs. Tessier kicking the ball up towards the 10-metre line. Slow ground being made, but ground being made nonetheless. Another line-out throw here for Totosi. Ball for Wall. Questionable whether that was a straight line-out throw, but it is. And Chiefs once again committing a lot of players to this driving maul. Robinson being told to use it at the back by the referee. It's a bit of a mess right now. And Sharks have stopped that drive and have gotten the ball back.
It's a dangerous game that they're, Chiefs are clearly mauling for penalty advantage at the very least. But Sale have nothing to lose. So, in that case, they come out on top and it's going to be their scrum.
Absolutely, and it's a big thing to think about the time that all this set piece takes now. Not sure how accurate our shot clocks are. However, we've had a few minutes taken up by lineouts and scrums and another scrum now. So something that Chiefs have to keep in the back of their minds. Sharks with the put-in at the scrum. Chiefs with the initial shove, but Sharks holding well. Owen stepping up as first receiver, carrying across to Rigoni. Rigoni brought down in the middle of the park by Tessier. Stefan shifting the ball onto Howard. Another big collision by Howard. Still leg driving all the way up. Going still down the short side. Good collision there from McMahon. Tooling, ball a little bit low, picking it up from her bootlaces. Owen stepping up at 10. Another carry. Menin's hands are in the ruck and she has the ball. Chiefs need to go quickly here. Emily Robinson this time with the quick tap and go, feeding to Tosi. Carrying over for Sharks. Flo Robinson feeding Johnson. Johnson going into the contact, ball going with her. Dalika Menon picking through the middle. Once again, stripped by Antwis, stripped back by Cantona. Robinson feeding Tessier on the short side, pulling it out the back to Sinclair. Nice hands to McGilvery, knock on there from Wood, and she then dives on the player as well. Accidental knock on in the tackle. I'm not sure.
Dalika's picked right up where she left off there with those carries, but I'm going to say it again. I think that's where those latches are really important. We're seeing the ball being stripped in contact because it is so slippy, because players are tired. If we can get a latch in there, that opportunity is taken away from the ball to be ripped, either in the tackle or in the breakdown. I think we need to remember that and keep the momentum on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Phillips there will be considering herself lucky that wasn't called as a penalty, but some very good defence. Nonetheless, Chiefs platform now at the scrum and the free kick. Johnson playing the ball down the short side. Sharks aren't paying attention. They're definitely not back 10. But the ref is shaking his head. He is not having any of it today. Flo Long, continued momentum going forward. Quick ball from the Blaze through to McMahon. Oh, that is a good shot on her there. Getting driven backwards. Sale Sharks throwing everything into this centre field breakdown. Ball onto Long, carrying into the contact. Antwis over the top, looks like off her feet, but she gets out of the way. Cantona to Johnson. Another strong carry through the middle, supported by Deutsch. Once again down the short side, McGillivray taking the first route. Menin again on the ball, cleared out by Leach. Offside from the Sale Sharks, but nothing called as they did not obstruct the play. Going straight, Tessier passing to Cantona. Cantona to McGillivray. McGillivray to Tasker on the wing. Tasker taking on her opposite number, being brought down on the far side of the field. This is good ground made by the Chiefs. Wall tipped on there to Robinson. Robinson playing the same way to Tessier, finding McMahon, carrying through the middle. Evading one, going into the next one. Tessier again on the ball, choosing to carry herself this time through the middle. Good clear out from Tasker, hunting off of her wing. Short tip line coming in there from Totosi. Sale Sharks opting to leave the breakdown. McGillivray carrying. Chiefs 5 metres out from the 22. Dorothy Wall finding the offload onto Robinson. That's a great connection from the two in the centre field there. Menon looking for another pick, but she decides to leave it and let her 9 play the ball away. Sinclair, a little winding run. Wall carrying again, head down into the Sale Sharks defence. Short side option is looking available. Robinson passes the ball there to McMahon, and that just hasn't connected. And the ball has gone into touch, unfortunately. Some good few phases going there.
Some really good phases and momentum built there by Exeter, but I think, unfortunately, just a little bit of lack of composure throwing the ball into touch in the end. The referee seems a little bit reluctant to call anything, to be fair. He's kind of letting and I understand that. I mean, the game is in the balance. We're in the last couple of minutes. There was a couple of maybe offsides or, players getting in Flo Robinson's way at the base of the ruck, but he's letting the game go, so we just need to be able to react to that.
Chiefs just not getting anyone up. Line out not going well for Sale Sharks either. But they come away with the ball. And here comes Katana's boot, pass back into the 22 so it can't go straight out. Not much distance this time, but the ball going backwards. The ball is still live. Tessier bringing the ball up to where it was taken from. And a little bit of gamesmanship / frustration there from Tessier as the Sharks player was stood in the 5-metre channel and she opted to throw the ball at her. Never mind, we will continue with a Chiefs line out.
We need to get this moving now, ball in, off the top, let's go. Ball back in play.
So another throw for Totosi. All the way to the back of the line out. Wall collecting the ball very well. Sharks holding the ball where it is. Chiefs actually going backwards now. They need to get the ball out, I think, and play. Chiefs have gained some momentum and have broken away. Down by Chiefs there, but they still are going forwards. Up towards the halfway line now. Sharks are committing a lot of players to this maul. There must be space somewhere else on the pitch. Robinson takes the ball out of the maul, feeds Cantona. She steps back inside. Breakdown is cleared away. McMahon round the corner. Robinson plays back to the short side. Sharks down on numbers. Menon is carrying in towards the 22. Menon has got towards the 22. The support is there. Chiefs need quick ball. Leach onto Dorothy Wall. Wall making a break, and she has unfortunately knocked that on into the Sale Sharks' hands. And that is the game. Sale Sharks 12, Exeter Chiefs 7. Clee, round that game off for us.
Penny for my thoughts. Well, look, I don't think we can. We don't have anything to complain about. We kind of, look, we did that to ourselves. Sale played the conditions. They played the conditions very well. They managed the game very well. They had a great impact off the bench. I think Stefan was incredible. Katana Howard kicked them out of trouble and marshalled them around the pitch very well. We made a lot of errors, and that's, those are the facts. We'll feel very disappointed, but I think, hopefully we learn a lot from today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all very much for watching again. Thank you, Clee, for joining us today. And please come back next weekend when Exeter Chiefs face Harlequins Women at home. We will see you there. For now, Exeter Chiefs 7, Sale Sharks 12.